All right, guys, welcome to the last Aussies taking over the NBA for the year. Very Merry Christmas to everyone. Obviously, some big games over the holiday break. We were all with family, so we're just wrapping up some of the pre-Christmas and post-Christmas games now. Some exciting things to announce. It's almost halfway through the season, so we're going to have a lot of content coming out for you guys in the next week or two.
Yep.
So all the teams will be wrapped up. We'll go back over under and overs and unders.
Yep.
And also continue to wrap the games, talk about any rumors and things like that.
Yep.
So we'll go back to the Raptors and the 76ers.
Yeah, that was our last game
Game before Christmas. And this was a game with no Siakam, no Ibaka, and no Leonard.
Kawhi
Leonard. And this was a big win.
no, Siakam played in this game.
Oh, Siakam played in this game? It was a couple of them out. Yeah, maybe it was no Valanciunas.
Yeah, Valanciunas. So Leonard held out of the lineup and then...
It was a back-to-back for them, that's why.
Rested Ibaka and then Valanciunas, thumb surgery.
So, Valanciunas, he broke his thumb or dislocated.
Yeah.
It was just like, ugh. That was a rough one. Big win for the 76ers. Big win. Ben Simmons, great night. 26 points, 11 from 13 from the field, 12 rebounds, 8 assists. Got to see a lot of Jonah this game.
He played really well,
Played the 5 well. Didn't score many points, but 9 rebounds, 1 assist, and 4 blocks.
4 blocks.
Some of them were great
too. Yeah, one he came over like on the weak side. I think it was Lowry. Just bang. Thanks for coming.
SWAT.
Yeah.
Embiid had 27 points, 11 rebounds. Just they got shit done on a weak team. It seems to be what the Philly team can do. Is on a weak team, they just get it done. Night in, night out. There's no surprises. Well, there's been very, very few surprises this year. It seems to be, against those tough teams, against those tough opponents, they just can't quite convert.
Yeah.
And Redick is in career best form. Embiid starting to play well again out of his slump. And
I think you just got to take those Embiid slumps though.
But that's not the problem. I mean, you've got another all-star in Butler there. You've got Simmons. You've got a good lineup. Where you probably Philly has shot itself in the foot is a bit of bench depth. I think Wilson Chandler at the 4, probably not living up to his paycheck. I believe anyway. There's a lot of guys that come out this week and said, we need to trade Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons needs the ball in his hand. No, Ben Simmons facilitates Embiid and Butler. He doesn't need to have the ball in his hands to score. He scores in transition when those guys are way down the court because that's what he does. He's fast, he moves in transition well, and he gets to the cup. But he facilitates Jimmy Butler and Embiid like no one else. I can safely say if you ask those guys if you wanted him to move on, they would quite quickly say no because they make them look very good.
Yeah.
What Ben's probably doing better than he did last year is rebounding, crashing the glass a bit more successfully. Even in a guy with Embiid in your team who is averaging a double-double.
Yeah.
31 double-doubles this year. And, rebounding out of this world and still smashing things. Embiid scored 23 out of his 24 points in 27 points in the opening 24 minutes. Again, this was just a comfortable win against a team that had some injuries. Bit of a Fultz art update. Don't think we'll see Markelle again this year.
Yeah.
A little bit on the Philly front. If they trade Fultz for a pick, it opens up a max spot for next year. So a one and done max spot for next year.
So who's going to get that, you reckon?
Who knows? We need a power forward. It's something that if you trade Fultz for a pick, look at this stage, you're probably going to get between 10 and 20 for Fultz, I think.
Jimmy?
No, Jimmy. That's on top of Jimmy.
On top of Jimmy, there's an extra max slot.
There's an extra max for next year only because Simmons is in his final year of his contract, final year of his rookie deal. And then he has the option to pick up the 5th year. But yeah, if they get rid of Fultz, that's 10 million off the cards. Chandler's 12 million. That's 22 million.
So so at the end of this season, there's another retool on the cards.
There's a window to sign a 4.
Yeah. Including Butler. So if they give Butler the max, there's room for another. So what about Simmons? You reckon that Simmons They're keeping that open for Simmons to get another high-paying contract.
It'll be a one and done. It'll be a one and done deal. It'd be like just a 1 year, maybe finding their way through to another team that they're waiting for. Maybe it may even be a KD or something like that. You don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
No, not really. But there's a $25 million upside next year if they get rid of Fultz. Because you're not going to re-sign Chandler. I mean, you can probably pick yourself up a good power forward for next to nothing that's going to do a bit more than Chandler.
It's hard because if Markelle Fultz wasn't number one in their draft and then they didn't make moves to try and get Fultz over Tatum, like, no one would care. And everyone would just be like, flick, see you later.
Yeah.
There'd be no one even, but everyone's so hyped up. Oh, well, they failed. They failed that draft. And it's like, but sometimes they failed
all the drafts. They
heaps of them, except Simmons, Embiid, and whoever that other one was. But then, Okafor, didn't they have Okafor?
Noel, Nolens, so many. I mean, you can almost think of Saric as a foul draft because he was part of the process and you punted him.
Yeah.
He was a top 10 pick.
So I would not, it wouldn't bother me if they were like, no, let's retool. Let's get rid of Markelle and retool. But a lot of the wider narrative around Markelle Fultz will just go mental.
It's not so much like you look at what he did at Washington and you're like, far out, this kid was actually like he was Zion level. If you look at what Zion does at college and you look at what Fultz did at college, he was Zion level. And then you look at him now and it's like, all right, he's got thoracic outlet syndrome, but I think it's more mental than that.
Will that lead to a better mental state if he actually worked through this?
No, I think he needs to go to another team. He will be great. He will be a great player. I'm not hating on Marco. I'm not saying he's a shit player, but in this system, he's done.
You reckon?
Yeah. He's not going to get to the level of Simmons. So he's not getting to the level of Simmons. He's not going to get the minutes there. He needs his own team. He's a ball handler. You can't have him and Simmons on the floor. It doesn't work.
And they kind of tried that.
They did.
Trying to just
12 games.
fit him in there. Yeah,
12 games, and then all this stuff came. It's done. The experiment failed. That's fine. You can admit defeat. You get rid of him for a pick, or a 4, a cheap 4. You move Chandler on next year. And it opens up a one and done $20 million deal. Because you're going to have to sign Simmons to the max the following year. We've got 22 second round picks between now and then. We're bound to pull out something semi-decent between now and then. You know what I mean?
Second rounders.
Shake Milton. Shake Milton's a great player. He's carving it up in the G League. He's averaging 25 to 30 points a night. As a good two guard. We've got Zaire Smith. That's everyone forgets. We got a top 10 pick
after his weird allergy.
Who's going to come up in the G League? Probably 2 years away. But we've got some guys there that potentially can take under the Markelle Fultz. So that's my feeling on the Fultz saga.
I think 3/4 of the narrative is just surrounding that. He was the number one pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And really, the number one pick hasn't failed for a few years.
Well, it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter. To me, I'm just like, whatever. If you need to get rid of this guy, just flick the guy because of where Philly's at. If they were, say, they made the finals last year and they lost, where they need to get better and get back to the finals, they need to win. Then I'd go, okay, maybe that was a bad pick. Maybe there's some interest in this basketball development, but it's not Philly have got another 3 or 4 years really before Simmons starts to really mature. Embiid's probably in 2 years he's probably going to be a lot better than he is now, fitness wise, health wise, basketball wise. If Jimmy's there,
Jimmy's only 29, 31, you're still kind of in your prime.
Yeah, so to me, I don't really care, but anyone looking for a story that's basketball unrelated, unrelated to the actual basketball, they're going to go straight to this and try and milk it for all it's worth.
And this is the stupid thing. You're at the same win level as Golden State. It took you to April to get the same amount of wins. End of January. End of January to get the same amount of wins last year.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're a month ahead of schedule.
I think they're playing a lot better style too with Jimmy Butler. It's all... it's kind of opened up the way Covington defended the perimeter was great, but Jimmy Butler can kind of fit in the space between Simmons and Embiid better than Covington could.
Yes.
Like, it was great having Covington as a shooter.
Because Jimmy can handle the ball.
Well, Jimmy can do different things I think it fits this team better. And still, to me, it's all about, like, you want Embiid moving as much as possible. You don't want him getting stuck on the post, whereas last year where he was getting stuck on the post, that's where you were just like, get him moving. Like, you can't just get trapped into him triple threat on the post shooting, like, 4
like
or 15.
LaMarcus, yeah.
And that's where, like, Embiid's got to start, and he has been playing that mobile game, because that's what kills teams. Like, having a 7-footer that's mobile is what's killing teams at the moment. And like your Capella, or, even like Steven Adams for OKC's playing really well. Jaren Jackson Jr. obviously is another rookie. He was doing really good at Memphis, but he's only a rookie. And then, like your Jokic, your Giannis, guys like that who are, but even Ibaka's playing really well for Toronto. I think that's where the NBA is kind of going. But I guess we can move on to the Bucks and the Heat.
And a big chunk.
Yeah, awful loss.
The Heat have kind of heated up.
Yeah, heating up.
They're heating up.
Quietly 500 team in the Eastern Conference, 17.
And they were well behind that. They went on a big run.
7-3 in their last 10. So a couple of good wins under their belt too.
Some big scouts.
It's Justice Winslow's playing a lot better, and then Whiteside is playing a lot better as well. Like, it's fitting better.
Yeah,
like,
and you've always got D Wade as a good vet in there who sometimes pulls out 20-point games, and you're like, oh, that's Dwayne Wade.
And then Dragic, obviously, who's a really good point guard, can glue all that together. Both teams in the retro outfits. Who did retro better?
I think Miami.
Yeah, that Bucks outfit's awful.
Terrible.
It's horrible. The yellow. I like retro, and I like retro in general, but I don't like those colors. It's like yellow and green, and it's just
horrid.
It's not very nice. Obviously, Giannis, 3 of 12, I think, in this game.
Yeah,
he did
really
not
great.
have a very good game at all. Watching the footage, but it didn't look like obviously I didn't watch the highlights, but it looked like he just couldn't get anything going. So it was kind of like
you have those bad games. Like, I mean, Embiid has those bad games. It's always hard for a big man when you've got the team on your shoulders, and Middleton's maybe having a quiet month, or Bledsoe's not playing too well, and just traded a couple of guys, and Connaughton's like, just turd at the moment, and just kind of, well, there's no really where to go to. We're chucking up threes, not working. We're going to lose this game. But the way Coach Bud's got them going is that, that's going to happen 1 every 4 or 5 games. Like, people, it's so funny when you take the NBA into perspective and not just look at one team. Like, I'm a Philly fan. Yeah.
That's what I was trying to...
Fans get so angry when they lose. It's like, man, this is the NBA. Any team can beat any team on a good night.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, you're going to win more against the turds, but you know what? The Cavs played really well against Philly for that win at home. Hood played lights out. Clarkson played lights out. Tristan Thompson played lights out. They played well. Like, what can you do? We didn't play particularly poorly. There's obviously some turd teams in there, but on any night, these guys are the best in the world. They're coached. Miami hasn't had a lot of movement over the last few years. They're a pretty stable team.
Yeah.
And
they're well coached.
They're well coached.
Spoelstra.
Eric Spoelstra. Much better. I was going to say Quinn Snyder, but Eric Spoelstra.
Quinn Snyder's, he's struggling.
I don't know what's going on with it.
He could be on the hot seat.
Yeah, it could be on the turd out of there, or it could just be Ricky Rubio.
Yeah.
I think Ricky's done his dash. Anyway, so Thon played in this, but he only had a point, 1 rebound, and 1 block.
Didn't really play, 4 fouls, struggle. I find that against these teams, like your Houston Rockets, the way the Rockets are playing is obviously the way the Bucks are playing. If you've got like a guy like Justice Winslow, who's quite big and thick, can use his body well and not give away fouls. He's not necessarily like the keg style PJ Tucker and Gordon, but he's just big and thick and smart with his body, putting it into areas. Like he really kind of played really well against Giannis, and that's where it kind of just puts a spanner into that style. Like if you're getting bodies in the way of these things that are happening and the shots don't fall, 9 of 43 from 3, that's where it's like your night's over, because you get ramped back into or you get like kind of reeled into going, oh, shoot the three, and then that's your style. It's like, if our 3 gets going, then we're going to win this game, and then your 3 doesn't get going, and it's like, well, we didn't try anything else. I mean, Middleton played all right in this game, 7 of 18, not too bad, but obviously shot 2 from 11 from 3. And then you got a guy like Lopez who you could use inside. Like your three's not dropping, bro. Get inside.
Yeah, he doesn't. Happen. He just like,
but it doesn't.
I'm just going to pull up from the logo.
Yeah. It's like I'm open here, standing out of the hash mark. I have a shot, and then it's and then you don't give Bledsoe the ball enough. It's like this team's going to kind of fall over, and that's where I feel like they've got to go through the fire.
They went hot. It was kind of like Coach Bud ramped them up for the start of the year. It was like bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
Oh, you went cold. Ooh.
And then
went cold. I was like, well,
how do we get out of this crap? Yeah. And then you don't, you have no idea how.
No.
And obviously, if you look at these stats for Giannis here, so many games where he's had 25, 31, 26, 33, 31, 35, 34, 33, 44, 9 in this game. So that's
it's hard to win games like that.
He had 12 against Indiana, which is, again, Turner and Bogdanovic.
Yeah,
these guys
are smart.
Just chub these guys out of the lane, and it's tough, man. It's going to be a learning process, and I think they're really going to have to go through the fire in general.
And try and potentially. I think their bench has been a bit of a letdown as well as of late. Let's move on. Yeah. Spurs and the Rockets. We can safely say fuck the Rockets.
Yeah.
God, I hate the Rockets.
It's glad it's unanimous on this podcast. I can't handle watching them. I watched this game live, and it's just
it's terrible.
It's
CP3 out for
a month with a hammy. It's kind of like it makes them better because it just gets another guy out of their way.
I think that he was probably the worst max deal in the history of max deals at his age. I wonder how many actual games he will play.
I don't know.
He's 34?
He's
33.
I'll Google that while you speak.
Google that. That's a 5-year max deal. He's going to be 38. He's just going to be injured central.
33. He's 34 this year. 2019, he'll be 34.
So he'll be 37 kind of by the time he finishes it. It's just terrible deal. Terrible.
So if he played a conventional offense, right, not this gimmicky 3-point, just huck up 3-pointers all day, he'd be he's a different player in a system, and he wouldn't have to play like this and get injured. It's like you have to redline in this system, redline your body, do everything. And then, look, these guys are getting injured. James Harden's breaking down in the playoffs a couple of years ago. There's obvious reasons why this is happening.
Too many minutes. But Harden's been crazy.
Well, it's the way they play as well. It's give Harden the ball and slow everything down, okay? But, you don't run any action at all. Everyone just gets out of his way, and he just launches this 3 from 35 feet. And everyone's like, wow, that's great. How great is it? It's like, yeah, okay, but I don't find it great to watch in general. And then I find with the Rockets, they'll go on stretches of they shot 4 of 15 from 3, but it was enough to give them a 10-point lead. And then they hit 4 of 5 from 3, and now they're out by 25. And you're like, 4 of those shots were terrible. Oh my God. They just get on these runs where it's not good basketball. It's just, wow, shots were dropping. That's nice. Gordon from 30 feet. Wow, nice. Harden ISO from 35 feet.
If you look at the scoring perimeter, I looked at this on the NBA website the other day. If you look at the scoring NBA Instagram, which is way better than their website.
Yeah, their website.
PJ Tucker, wing threes, highest in the league.
Yeah, for sure. You'd never leave him open on the wing.
Yeah,
man.
and teams need to do it.
Yeah, they
all
always
the time.
do
He just gets there. He's like, that's
sneaks out there. Yep.
He chubs out there.
Sniper. Look at this stat line. James Harden, 41 minutes, 39 points, 12 of 34, 7 of 19 from 3, and then 8 of 9 from the line. And then Capella. Obviously, Capella's actually playing really well.
He's playing really well. I can't hate on him.
No. He's adapted his game. His game last year was Gobert, but now it's gone to a different level.
It's gone. Yeah,
and gone Gobert to hasn't gone anywhere. And you're like, now I can see the difference between these two players, because Capella can guard at the perimeter, he can move, he can short pick and roll and finish in action, whereas Gobert can't. Man, Gobert's can't move, and once you bring him to the perimeter, it's lights out. You may as well just take him off the floor. Once he comes out, you may as well just step through a portal into another universe when he gets out to the perimeter, because it's there's no point having him there.
Yeah.
But I guess we should move on to the Spurs. They obviously, Patty didn't play well. 5 points. 2 of 5 from 3. In a game like this, DeRozan, he had 28 points, and then LaMarcus Aldridge battled really well with Capella. That was a good battle to see. It's just that body guy, the Capella and the Gordon, those two body guys.
Yeah, the chubs.
They just get under LaMarcus, and he struggles.
Yeah.
DeRozan, obviously, defensively, the Spurs just don't have a guy to guard Harden one-on-one.
No, you need an Exum style body. You need that really
somebody,
long slashing dude who can move quickly laterally.
And it forces him to drive all the time. And that's where it becomes Harden drives and he's got one of three options. Find Tucker in the corner, the little slip around the corner for Capella at the rim, or he tries to finish through traffic. And that's why I just hate their style, man. It's like you draw three cards. Which ones are going to be? That one. Okay, the little dump off to Capella. Like Harden drives, dumps off to Capella. He either scores or he misses. And then, okay, draw the three cards again. Harden drives. Oh, this time it's Tucker. Nice. Out to Tucker. He shoots three, he makes it or misses. It's so boring to watch, man. I can't handle it.
It's not.
But the Spurs, they needed to pick up some wins. They need them soon. I
think they've slipped into the top 8.
No, they are 10th at the moment, 19 and 17. They're above 500 though, so
they are above 500. So
the Jazz are rapidly trying to get above 500, and they are struggling as well.
And the Mavs are going a little bit cold, and AD is leaving the Pelicans. Let's move on to the next game, which is the Mavs and Dubs.
No Rai. No party. I watched this game live. It was a good game. Jonas Jebrasco, he played really well. Obviously, Jerebko, career high 23 points. 23 points career high. What a monster night for him. But he played really well. The Mavs just don't have if DeAndre Jordan's playing really well and Doncic is integrated into playing well, and then all of their offense is moving around well, it's great. But then you play against a team like Golden State, suddenly Draymond or someone just keeps DeAndre Jordan out of that, and then that short circuits a lot of their offense. Yeah. And you can't, a team like Golden State is so elite that they work you out during the game. Like, oh, right, you're going to this, it's working, we're going to shut that down. And then if teams can't go pivot really quick, we got to switch.
Yeah.
And some of these lower teams can't. You watch them and you're just like, they can't just keep going to Doncic because Doncic is now struggling, and then Doncic tries to give up the ball and move off the ball, and he never gets the ball back, and you just kind of falls over pretty quick. But no Brokoff, which we
sucks, probably
man.
won't see because now Dirk's back.
Yeah, it sucks. I wish we could get some more of him, but that's just kind of what it is. He's getting paid. He's getting some spotlight. Good experience too.
Yep. Might get picked up for another team. You don't know.
Yeah, in a couple of years. But, I think he'll see out his contract and just kind of play. They've got a lot of everywhere guys, like Kleber, Mejri can only play at the center. And then Dwight Powell came out of nowhere at the start of the season. We're like, Dwight Powell can shoot from the elbow and do everything on defense. Where did this come from? What the hell? Finish plays, finish around the rim. And then obviously he's starting to struggle now, but they're slipping down a little bit. They're sitting at 11th. 12th.
It's such a jam packed.
Oh, it is, man. When the top 10 are over 500, and then you look at the East, and the top 7 are over 500, and 2 of them are 500 exactly.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Nuts. Move on.
Okay, see Jazz.
Another loss for the Jazz,
and then it's been beat downs, man. After that series, it's like Paul George is just I'm flopping it out on the table, and I'm taking you guys down.
43 points.
Yeah, just a piece.
Rebounds.
It says here, Paul George hasn't stopped thinking about last season's exit, and he's playing like it too. He's just destroying them. I think they've lost 2 in a row against
the Thunder.
Yeah, I think against the Thunder. I think they lost another one, didn't they? Just prior to that, I believe they were absolutely smashed by them. Thunder 122-113. That was just prior to this game. Jazz did well to kind of bring it back. But Joe Ingles didn't really play all that well. It's defensively against
8 assists, plus 14 on the night, and the loss.
Yeah. It's Paul George went, I'm singling you out, and I'm going to destroy your soul. And then he just did it, and it was just and Ingles tries hard and he works hard, and the chip was getting to him in that series, right? The playoff series.
Yeah.
And it worked. But now it's no, this guy's transcended. You can't do that anymore. You're going to have to work something else out.
Well, they've actually got someone who's not Carmelo Anthony as well in Schroeder.
Yeah. And they were really rolling. And then the Jazz are struggling this year. Dante Exum, 11 minutes, 4 points. He didn't play very well. The Thunder seem to have a lot of high octane, big guys. Like Noel. And then Steven Adams even is in career best form. He's playing fantastic. This season, and he opens up so many different options for them, and then obviously Abrinas who Exum played a lot of minutes sort of trying to guard. It's like he's a good shooter, and then, you're going to get yanked off the floor pretty quickly if Abrines is starting to heat up. He had 11.
It just seems like Quinn Snyder is struggling for go-to options.
Yeah. Let's go Bear, man. You can hear it. I got my head in my hand, man. You can hear it. It's like, it just doesn't work. And
it's
you
like
can't drop him, man.
Player of the year last year. And
you just can't drop him. And then the game changed so quickly. It's just gone. Like, the game's over here now, Go Bear, in another dimension. Like, far out. What happened? But I think Steven, like, a really good representation, obviously, like with Capella and Gobert, is again Steven Adams and Gobert, where Steven Adams' mobile game in the paint and the way they deliver the ball to him, it's a piece of their offense that has different dimensions to it. Like, you can bounce pass to him, short the pick and roll, give it to him in the lane. He can finish. He's got an array of nice little push shots and floaters, or like a drop step, a little pump fake and finish. Whereas Gobert's got the lob and that's it. Like, are we lobbing it to him? Nah. Okay, well then we don't give it to him. And then Donovan Mitchell obviously has got to sort of change his game a little bit. He likes to drive into the paint.
You look at some of the best Steven Adams quotes. Like, some of his things are just hilarious. Like, some reporter asked him like about his new teammates. He goes, "Oh, I'll just turn up."
Yeah, he's hilarious, man. He's a typical Kiwi. He's a good bloke. Yeah. Sucks that he wasn't somehow Aussie and he could play for the Aussie team, because he'd be great in the Aussie team. Westbrook kind of torched Rubio as well, but Paul George, the story of the night was Paul George. 43 points.
Paul
just
George
basically
extravaganza. He's online for potential MVP if Harden wasn't such a hog.
I think that's where you're looking at MVP, or Giannis, who's carrying that franchise or something like that. I think it's going to be a real jam-packed MVP this season.
Look, Embiid's up there. No one's doing the double-doubles like Embiid. If Simmons goes on a triple-double run, they love the triple-doubles. He's not scoring a lot of points, but that's, here nor there.
It's kind of narrative-based too.
Yeah.
If OKC ends up finishing really high in the seeds, then I reckon Paul George will get it. And then, obviously, if the Bucks finished like the 1 seed in the East, then I reckon he'd get
Giannis get it.
We'll move on. Hornets, Celtics. No Bainesy still. He's got that hand injury.
Out for 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks.
He had surgery on it just before Christmas, and then they said, 4 to 6 weeks. And then I read a thing where Brad Stevens said he's not going to rush him back because...
No, they've got jam-packed C spots.
Yeah, Badens wants to play too, and he's like, I've got to manage him I've got to manage his personality because this guy will come back too early and hurt himself, and then he'll be out for even longer. So he's got to do that. Comfortable win for the Celtics. I don't think we really need to go in depth. No,
Hornets seem to be that team that just seems to be like, if Kemba's not dropping 60, we're out.
Like Miles Bridges was playing really well at the start of the season, and he's just kind of disappeared.
Turned it off.
Batum can't create his own shot.
Batum is I think he's on 25 mil a season. Like, who is this guy? Get him out of the NBA. He's useless.
I think he came from Portland too when CJ and Dame were on the scene. They got rid of Batum. Apart from that, Celtics played pretty well. Kyrie was playing well.
Hayward's still not really fitting.
I just have nothing else to talk about with the Celtics. It's kind of no Bainesy, no party. I don't really want to know about them.
Yeah. Look, I think that Jaylen Brown's getting into a bit of form. Tatum's like that all-star role player. I don't think he's that far off being an all-star.
Nah, it's just that's where those two are pushing the team apart. They're not fitting in the hole. They're kind of splitting the team apart.
They're splitting the team because Hayward's like $30 million man and he's really not doing anything. It's kind of like,
you don't need to be here, bro. Just take the season off. Work on your ankle.
We'll give you a call when we need you.
Fully, yeah. And then even when they need him, it's like, oh, nah. He'll probably screen us. We won't call him. We'll just give the ball to Kyrie.
Mark's here? Just slot in there, Mark's. Yeah. So, that's the bad part of it.
But we've obviously got Christmas Day Philly to go on to later.
We'll get into that.
We'll go into that.
The old Uncle Drew show. Okay, next game, Bulls and Cavs. Garbage on garbage. Battle of the trash cans.
It was such a bad game. That's what I mean, where I found myself just watching these bad games, just going, why am I watching this? Like, this is horrible. But Larry Markkinen,
he's good, man.
He's come back.
I told you when he came back, he's such a good player, such a good four.
And suddenly they're 4-6, so heady heights for the Bulls. They've gotten to 10
bit
wins.
of defense, someone who actually can play a bit of P defense.
And then bench Jabari Parker for 5 games in a row. It's like your main man.
It's just like the dude can score. Just like put him on. I don't get it.
Yeah, but
like,
it's
and
then
a
they've
coach
got that
trying
new
to,
coach and all that sort of stuff.
Apparently he's a bit of a turd.
Yeah.
No one likes him. Anyway,
Delhi had 19 minutes, 10 points, 4 of 9. So he's eating. It's good.
He's having a bit of a feast, and it seems like he's come in and Colin Sexton's kind of dropped off a fair bit.
Yeah.
I think maybe the limelight. He just doesn't dish. Although one assist this game is pretty terrible for Delhi standards.
Yeah, it depends. Obviously he's coming in to the second unit. You know what I mean? So he's really at the mercy of the bottom, the
trash,
the bin juice, mate. He's like scraping out the cone piece instead of just drinking the bong water. It's real.
Who's the bong water of the NBA?
Yeah, Cavs.
The Cavs.
The dregs of the NBA.
Like LeBron, just like, this is LeBron. Yeah, get him. All right, see ya.
Yeah.
See ya.
And then that's what I mean. Like, he got all these guys from other teams that were just kind of not that good, or kind of looked all right on the Lakers. Like Clarkson looked all right on the Lakers. Like, serviceable piece. Larry Nance, who I like, can fit. It's just he's kind of not really there, like not quite there. But then when you stuff them all in a team and take LeBron James away, you're kind of left with like, oh no, like we've just moved some crap players from a bunch of teams.
Look, I think put it this way: Delhi adds more than George Hill. Yeah, let's get this 40% 3-point shooter who takes one attempt every 7 games.
And then like you're putting the ball in Rodney Hood's hand, and you're like, woo, Rodney Hood, yeah, get at it, Rodney. And then like when I watch Hood, I'm like, is he like, what is he, 6'9"? Like he looks way big, like almost looks like a forward. And then he kind of moves. Obviously Burks on this team
adds a little bit more depth to it too. Yeah.
And then I could almost see them just moving Sexton down in the rotation and putting Alex Burks there to just play point guard, handle the ball, because he's one of the only ones that kind of makes things happen.
Yeah. I would almost move Sexton to the 2 spot and let him play just as a pure catch and shoot player or a dribble and shoot, drive and shoot player. They're
kind of stuck in that nether region of he's 6'8", Rodney Hood. But he looks like he's huge in that team. It's kind of weird. They're kind of stuck in that nether realm of do we tank or do we not tank, or
I think the fans are too proud to warrant
just accept.
Just accept that
we're shit.
We just need to get Zion.
Yeah, for sure, man. Zion would be mad on that team.
Sexton and Zion. If there's any,
even like RJ Barrett or something like that on that team.
Rui Hachimura.
Yeah, man.
If there's any round to tank for, this is your tank now.
Yeah.
Like this is the generational players that are coming through.
It's just such a 180, hit the brakes and turn, do a donut and 180 the other way.
Yeah, but we always knew that. It's just like LeBron put in all these weird pieces, and then just, all right, guys, I'm out.
Yeah, take it easy, peeps. Enjoy that.
And everyone's like, do we have a team? I don't actually think we have a team. We're like 20 guys.
Kevin Love got injured, I guess.
That's.
I like Kevin Love, but Kevin Love's kind of.
He's not a franchise. He's an offhand player.
He's put that guy on the perimeter with your guy, like he'd be great on the Bucks, man.
Yeah,
he'd be fantastic to take minutes off like Lopez or something like that.
Yeah,
corner 3. He just. He's starting to, his body's starting to break down a bit, and he's struggling to score in any other way than kind of catch and shoot, or not necessarily struggle, but you don't want to just keep going to it. Yeah. Like, he's not that kind of player. He's not like an Embiid who, you just keep going to it because he's got the body to keep doing it. But yeah, let's move on from the Cavs.
Mavs Portland lost to the Trailblazers, 2-point loss. No Riri. Doncic had double. And Doncic's looking pretty good for Rookie of the Year at this point.
Yeah,
I'd have to say he's probably $1.10. Yeah.
It sucks for Atlanta because they're always going to look like idiots for trading. But he fits that Mavs franchise so well, man. Having Barnes.
There's big talk about moving Dennis Smith Jr. on.
Well, did you see him against the Pels? I think yesterday he took that last second shot. It was like Doncic had playing career high best field goal percentage or something, and then lets Dennis Smith take the last shot of the game, and it's like this look on his face, like it's pretty funny. Yeah. Like he's just like, what the hell just happened? We lost. Damn. They're starting to slip a little bit. They're obviously 4 spots outside the 8. I still hope they finish at top 500.
It's so hard.
I know.
So hard.
I think the Kings are going to drop out, and the Clippers just kind of.
They still keep powering on for some reason.
They're winning and losing and winning and losing.
The Grizzlies are gone.
I think the Grizzlies are gone, and the Kings are going to drop out. But we'll obviously go through a little bit more on an in-depth.
Unders and overs.
Yeah, that's all right.
Let's move on to the next game.
Bucks Knicks on Christmas Day.
Christmas Day, Boxing Day for us. We had a bit of Thonotron in this game. 12 points, 5 from 8.
Yeah,
good. Really good. 3 rebounds, 2 blocks, plus 11 on the night. Mind you are talking trash. This is the game that Enes Kanter got ejected for giving Giannis a bit of a kiss. It's like, dude, you don't get up in the freak's face.
Yeah, what are you doing? That was crazy. I'm going to Google that. I want to watch that again. I only saw, I watched the ejection video. I didn't see it on the highlights. It was about 10 minutes ago in the fourth, was it? Yeah, 10 minutes in the fourth, yeah. So I'm just watching it now. Thon gets his rebound. I think Thon hit him or something because there was a bit with Thon, and Thon's a feisty guy. He just kind of hit him and he went down, and then there's this shit going on here. Man, I love Thon's hustle. I just love watching that guy. I think he's it's obvious that he's not quite on that caliber, on that tier of, wow, what a great player. But still, man, he works so hard, and I love the fact that he never gives in. He could
be on that tier of, this guy's a fantastic role player. We need him in our rotation.
Yeah, but I don't think it's kind of, he's so unique that as a franchise, you wouldn't look at this guy and go, there's a spot there in our team. We need that, because he's so unique. It's not. He kind of struggles with the ball in his hand, to do anything off the dribble. So if he worked on that and put that into his game, he could play almost like a Durant style role, where he's an oversized guard, almost like a forward who plays down on another team's 2 switches and shoots. But you're not going to see that in this team, man. No. Spread the floor, get out of Giannis's way. And I know I keep saying that. I've said that a fair few times.
This was a good game for Lopez. Had 20 points as well, obviously with the win. And Brogdon had 17. And we can't understate how good Brogdon is, really, in this team lineup. He just seems to be that guy that just keeps chugging, 15 to 25 points a night, solid, gets the rim, shoots the 3-ball, defends the perimeter. He's just a really good player.
He's the guy that's kind of glued that team together because, he's not high maintenance. It's kind of like Middleton's the same. They're both non-high maintenance players that need the ball in their hand all the time. Middleton was terrible in this game. 6 points, 2 of 12.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, Giannis, I think the Knicks aren't in the state that the Knicks are in. They're not going to beat this Bucks team if the Bucks team are playing well.
I think if the Bucks teams are playing shit, they won't beat the Bucks team. This Knicks team's terrible.
Yeah, the Knicks is just. Ugh. What are they coming in?
9,
second last. Yeah, oof.
9 wins or something like that.
Come on, Cavs, beat the Knicks.
Yeah, we want the Knicks to. Well, the Knicks are going for Zion. They're definitely tanking. Seems like there's a bit of heart in the Cavs. It's hey, we really want to do well, and but the Knicks are just oh yeah, we won. They're cool. Yeah, we're going to tank anyway.
Move on to Philly and the Celts.
This was a really interesting game for my mind. Great game to watch. Good battle.
I turned it on. It was the third quarter, and Philly started to get a roll on. It started to look like, oh wow, Philly might win this game, and then obviously
goes to OT and they lose it. Look, it's one of those games that Boston's going to defend the perimeter really well. You've got Kyrie Irving back. Redick gets kind of shown up defensively against the Celtics. It's how do you beat the Celtics? Well, one, you typically don't beat the Celtics at home on Christmas Day. That's the fact that this game went to overtime is a great step forward. Simmons played okay. He never does too well against the Celtics. Not good from the line, 3 from 7. He had
they're such a high IQ team that they know how to play against Simmons. Yeah.
They know how to play against Simmons. Sit off him, wait for him, close down the paint. He can't drive. But again, the Butler factor. I think without Butler in this team, that game gets blown out quite easily. He had 14 rebounds, 8 assists, and it was a minus 17 on the night. We didn't see Bolden this night, but, you know, Tatum put up 23, Morris put up 23, Rozier put up 10, Joel Embiid had a feast, 34 points, without Baines kind of in his way. He just had his way with the team. Pulled down 60 rebounds. Jimmy Butler had 24. Redick had 17, which is pretty good from a scoring perspective because usually they shut him down so well on the perimeter.
Philly shared it around. Like they like stats wise, they look like they had a good night. The bench,
they did have a good night.
Was a bit of a...
Simmons not hitting clutch free throws killed the game. They weren't able to score any points in the last 2 minutes. I think they had he had a handoff to Redick to win the game.
Yeah.
Chandler is just pulling this team down.
Chandler
just like we're doing well. What do we do? We just pull this team down. Redick
actually down the stretch, I did see some Chandler just horrible. I think he like fell on the ground and then kind of like rolled the ball out and just crabbed along the ground.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, what are you doing?
How is this guy $12 million? Just get Muscala on. At least Muscala can. You just get Muscala on. Anyway.
He was 1 of 9 though. Muscala 1 of 8 from 3.
Yeah,
and good shooting.
He's $5 million. What do you expect? Exactly. He is what he's worth. He'll have a good night. He'll have a bad night. In these kind of games, you need Butler. You know that ball doesn't go to Redick. Final seconds, that ball should go to Butler. That's all it is. But again, Redick had an open jumper, missed it. Like he hits that 9 times out of 10. You win the game. Unfortunately, went to overtime and some Uncle Drew.
Yeah.
Kyrie hit some good threes.
Streaky,
in that first quarter, he was so streaky.
I've been on the end of that. Sucks watching this guy just drop threes, contested threes. He's so good though, man. His handles creating space too. It's insane. I think he hit one on the wing just before in regular time, just before the end of regular time, where you couldn't even see him on the telecast.
Yeah.
And the ball just goes in and you're just like, geez, how did you even get that off?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
You're playing against a great player, and when he has a good night on, that's really, it's going to be lights out until Ben can develop a shot. Although we have to say, Ben, longest shot of his career in this game, 22-footer,
22 feet,
22 feet, jump shot, and you know what? It was a fading jump shot.
Did he hit it?
Yeah, he hit it.
Nice.
Yeah,
I saw him hit one the other day. He kind of went in, did like a little lean fake turn. Hit it. It was a lefty, like a lefty turn.
If you look statistically speaking, it's much easier to hit a 3-pointer than a jump shot between 15 and 25 feet.
Yeah.
Yes. You look at the statistics.
Oh, the statistics. Yeah. In terms of makes. Yeah.
It's much easier to hit a 3-pointer. It's that weird thing where it's that power and finesse. The 3 points, the power. That's that finesse, and it's a really kind of crafty person that can...
Plus, you also got to think of collapsed defenses as well. Like, you should probably shooting more contested mid-range than you are shooting at the perimeter, where you usually... Now the game's all about making wide-open shots at the perimeter. Like, you're not meant... You're
meant to get the guys open, which, to be honest with you, Simmons is open most of the time on the perimeter. I just want to see him, in garbage time, just take over shots.
He just doesn't want it on his stat sheet, man.
No, he's just been told by Brett Brown, don't do it.
Oh, really?
I reckon that's it.
I just thought...
Ben Simmons isn't I'm going to go outside of the game plan. He's a game plan guy.
Yeah, okay, fair
I don't think he's an ego at all. We'll move on to the next game. Yeah. Portland and Jazz.
Good win for the Jazz.
Yeah.
I did see this game. They
Dexter played really well.
Yeah,
Ingles played well.
Fantastic. Starting to see, wow, this is the Dante Exum that the Jazz need. On the ball as well. He shot really well. Getting to the rim, he's just a flash off of one step. He just abused Lillard and McCollum, just abused them, man. Just off of one step. Really good at getting to the line. I think the Jazz system doesn't allow for that really, though. It's just kind of what they want is circular movement at both elbow, and that's how they generate their offense. And then Dante Exum, you kind of need to kind of clear out one side. You need ISO and run a proper 1-4 or proper 1-4 or 2-5. And then he gets to the rim, but they kind of like to collapse everything, which has been their struggles. Gobert played pretty well. He had 18 points, 14 rebounds. Portland's a team with one big as well. They've got one big, and that's kind of it. Yeah. Nurkic is a kind of a dual type of big, and then you've got Myers, Leonard, and Collins, who you're it's the garbage pile type of thing. You know, they do one thing good, which is kind of protect the rim, and that's about it. They're not like go-to offense or anything. Nurk in this game, 26 minutes, 7 points. So Gobert did his job there. Damian Lillard and CJ didn't shoot that well in this game either. But these are the games where the Jazz should win pretty comfortably.
Yeah.
Like they'd roll, they chug along. It's where the other team kind of switches things up, and then the Jazz go, oh, no, but we want to keep doing this. We want to keep chugging along. Or no, you can't. You gotta change the way you play. And that's where like they can't like drop the speed and then like drift and then turn the other way. It's like they've got no lateral game to themselves. They're just one dimensional. Just we do this and this only. It's like, yeah, but you know, you kind of got to go off road down here. And if you're a Ferrari, you can't do that. Like, you know, if you're in a Formula One car, you can't go off road down this track. And that's where we're taking you. So, but a good win for them. They're obviously going into the new year. I think they've got another game, the Jazz, tomorrow, or is it today?
I think it's today.
Yeah.
Late today.
So we'll bring you that on the next episode. Yeah,
New York.
Next.
Should be a win. Should be a W quite easily. I don't think
there's a few good
Kanter
can playing today. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Kanter can contain Gobert in that matchup. Next game, Cavs and Grizz.
Yeah.
Lost to the Grizz. Cavs are trash. Delhi played pretty poorly. 18 minutes, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists.
Conley and Gasol are going to eat that team.
Man. Just too smart. Too smart.
And Larry Nance, obviously he played well, but defensively he's not there. Like to contain a guy like Gasol, it's just not there.
It's just not. He's not able. Gasol's too much of a smart player. Chetty Osman started the year well, but not really doing much now.
Yeah, he's kind of just slumping a little bit. Yeah. I think they've worked him out a little bit. Looks a little tired as well. You know, he reminds me of Korver, the way he plays.
Yeah.
He's got an inside game, but it's all try and do, and then you're just like, yeah, but it didn't work. Oh, but I tried hard. So you know, that's kind of the way the Cavs play. Like, we didn't win, but we tried. So, and that's hey man, like at the end of the day, if you're losing games and you're not trying, then what have you got? Yeah. If you're losing games when you're trying, at least you can say, hey, we're leaving it all out here. We're not good enough. We know we've got to get it better, and you got something to work on. Exactly. I just think the Cavs are just going to drop it. They're just going to like be Cavs 32 points first half. Terrible.
Yeah. It's it was just one of those games that should be erased from the memory. We'll go on to a quick update. Pelicans and Mavs. Good win for the Mavs. No broke off. Some Doncic Magics. AD not playing too well that game.
Yeah.
Pretty much that's it. We can talk a little bit about the AD saga. What do you reckon? He moves, the team moves, I think.
You reckon? Yeah. That's what Bill Simmons was saying on his podcast. But I don't know, man. If I was him, I'd want to move, but I'd be worried, man. I'd just be thinking, far out. If I leave, that's it for this franchise. Do I want that on my resume? You know, he left, the franchise packed up, and it was his fault. Like, obviously, it's not really, but like, I don't know. I'd just be more worried about that. I hope they don't guilt him into staying. And that he does move if he wants to move. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want him to just stay because...
He's not going to win. I mean, look, the Pelicans have a good team. Like, I don't understand that, you know, in the East, I think they just kill it and make top 4 and make...
Yeah, for sure.
But it just seems like against the West teams, they just don't have, they don't have the grit. I don't know what it is. You know, Drew Holiday's playing really well. Julius Randle's playing really well. They seem to have a little bit of bench depth as well. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're just not gelling as a clique. Maybe it's just too like, oh, AD, if you're not like doing everything, then we're not going to win.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like, give it to AD. Oh, we're not winning. Oh, what do we do then? Oh, everyone else can play. Like, why doesn't everyone else play then? Instead of just giving it to AD. And then in the clutch moments, they're kind of always going to AD as well. Yeah. I don't know. This is where... Do you go the Bucks route, like the Giannis style, and change their entire offense so everything runs through AD? Like, is he good enough to do that?
Yeah, he is.
It feels like those teams where they're stuck in between playing conventional offense and
just running through
some gimmicky thing like that the 3-point vortex type thing where everyone spreads the floor.
But you know what? They could do that because they have good 3-point shooters at the Pelicans. Mirotic is a good 3-point shooter. Randall's a good 3-point shooter. You know, Holiday's. So they could have that gimmicky style. player. I just don't think the coach has it in them to do that.
Gentry is a very traditional type coach. He came from the Warriors when they won their first season. I like Alvin Gentry, but obviously he's stuck in a mindset of I've got to play a conventional type of offense with this team and try and fit AD into it. But
it's really the team is AD. The team is AD.
I don't really know. I don't think AD is good enough to play like Giannis and handle the ball. I think.
Have you not seen some of his handles for a 740?
But it's so taxing, man. Like I just think he's a conventional 7-footer, as Giannis is just more of a freak. Like a freaky 6'11", crazy. You know what I mean? Like it's not natural to be that quick. It's like LeBron James. You don't look at LeBron James and go, "Wow, how is a 6'11" guy that quick?" And like, how great's that? Like, you're obviously going to say, put the ball in his hands. Whereas AD, I'm like, yeah, 7-footer, maybe not. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of like KD. You wouldn't put the ball in KD's hands because he's just too like spaghetti arms, man. He really is. Like, when you get in the lane, it's kind of a little bit like Giannis last year. It was like everything was all clogged up.
Yeah.
And then you have to move these guys so far out of the way that it changes, like it gravitationally changes the way your team plays. And then
because they have to collapse the lane, and then you got 4 open shooters, and that's where they've been playing really well. Or you spread the ball and you just inside the paint, you just anywhere in the key, you just like dunks on you.
Yeah. And I don't think Davis has that ability to just magically dunk over a lot of people.
Well, I mean, I think he goes to the Lakers, it kills his career. I don't think him and LeBron can play in the same team.
I don't know what's going to happen with him, man.
Anyway.
I'll sit back and watch that happen and just go, well, whatever he does. Because there's a few rumors that he might go to the Warriors as well, but the Warriors are going to have to move a fair bit of stuff for that to happen. Or
the Celtics. The Celtics
Celtics would be interesting as well, but they're going to have to get rid of Hayward if they do that, man.
That'd be like his Hayward. That'd be actually a good straight swap. His Hayward. Yeah. And
how awful for Hayward, man.
Yeah.
Gets to
I've just built my career and I'm going to this really good team.
Finally gets his dream move to Boston. Like, he's always wanted to play for Brad Stevens because I think he played under Brad Stevens in college. Finally gets reunited, breaks his Achilles, and then a year of trash, and then you're like, sorry, mate, you're out.
You're right. All right, we'll move on. Nuggets and Spurs. I love the Spurs for beating the Nuggets. I hate the Nuggets.
Yeah.
The commentators are just such twats. Yeah, why are this Warriors team? This Warriors team's shit. Why are they winning so many games? They're so shit. Who's this Ben Simmons? He's crap.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid is the worst center in the world.
You got to be in your bonnet of these announcers.
They're just
trashing Philly.
Oh, they trash everyone.
They trash everyone. It's painful to watch, man. They're probably the worst in the league. A lot of people say the Warriors announcers are the worst in the league, but I find that Denver announcers are the worst.
Yeah, they're pretty crap. DeRozan had a good game, 30 points.
Yeah.
Marcus, 27. Patty, pretty quiet, 2 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists.
But Forbes and White were playing really well in this game.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure White played in this
game. They snipe. This is the thing with Spurs. They either snipe and win or they just chunk and tank. Like, it's just, there's no in between.
Because they're creating good shots, man. 10 of 32 from 3 for the Spurs. They're creating good looks. It's kind of like the Kings, where the Sydney Kings, where they work to create, like, give up a good shot for a better shot type of thing, where these other teams are just like, no, 53's a night, man. That's where it's at. This is where we're at, guys. 53's a night. Like the Bucks, I think they were 6 and 60 in one of their games. It's just like, that's too many threes, man. I don't like it.
All right. We'll go Celtics and Rockets. We have to say fuck the Rockets again.
Yeah, again.
No Bainesy.
Let's just move on.
Let's move on from that. Sorry, Celtics fans.
That was the game where every time the Celtics got close, Harden would just hit these like 28-foot terrible shots. And then you'd be like, oh my God.
Well, they're not really terrible. They're amazing skill.
It's mad.
But it's just
But far out. You'd just be watching that just going, Jesus, how do you beat this team if they're just dropping these crazy amounts of shots? Or I think they shot a crazy amount of threes in this game. And then, we shot 4 of 15, but 4 was enough to get us a lead because we got a couple of stops. And it's like, I don't want to watch this team play this type of fucking basketball. It's horrible to watch. I prefer the rhythm and the flow. And then sort of towards the end, the Celtics kind of just gave up. Just kind of going back in here. And then Harden, 17 free throws, man. That's too many free throws for a shooting guard.
Flop City.
They put up 18 of 45. So a decent amount in this game. But yeah, let's move on.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the second meeting of the Knicks and Bucks. Another good win for the Bucks.
Yeah.
Thon had a terrible game. We didn't have a terrible game, just didn't score any points.
2 blocks, though.
2 blocks.
Couple of good blocks.
Antetokounmpo, 31 points, 14 rebounds. Middleton had a great night of 25 points.
This was the game where...
this was the Enes Kanter game.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was... They kind of worked hard to get into that position, and then that altercation kind of changed the game at the end. That was it. It was the Bucks win, pretty much. So.
Not over. No one can really...
But I like Enes Kanter in general. I don't think he's that good. I like his willingness to fight. And I'm like, good on you. At least like you tried to get in Giannis's face. You had a crack at him. Like, fair enough. Good stuff. Like, I'm happy with that, but he talks a bit too much, man.
Yeah, a little bit too much dribble for not enough backup.
Yeah. Shall we just move on then?
Yeah, let's move on to the Philly Jazz game. Man, Exum played so well this game. So well. Shot the 3-ball well. 20 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists.
Yeah.
I just think that...
He's coming into his own. He's starting to get into a nice rhythm. It's good.
I just think that, another triple-double by Ben Simmons, but 7 turnovers. Lol.
Yeah, that's all right.
3 steals and a block on top of a triple-double. I just think that they're not going to beat Philly. I think Gobert just cannot counter Embiid.
Yeah.
They can't lock down Redick on the perimeter. He's just too fast-moving. Embiid's too good. The problem is that Gobert has to come out to Embiid. Embiid plays a lot at the line, 3-point line.
And that's perfect for the Philly. Embiid's like, good, I'll sit out here. That's nice. And then once they've run after him and they've chased him all the way to the 3-point line, Embiid just quietly slips back into the paint. It's just like, I'm here now, guys. Like, hit me here.
Or Butler's there, or Simmons is there, and it's just like, I just don't think the style. It's one team that the Jazz can't beat is Philly. Just the style clashes. I don't think the Jazz can beat any big with an elbow game. Really. My point, I don't think they can beat the Magic. I think if they play the Magic, they chunk to the Magic.
Philly.
No, the Jazz.
Yeah. I don't know what the Jazz is doing, man. My prediction has just gone so bad that I've just given up. Yeah. God damn it. Some trash talking, which was good. Embiid loves to trash talk. Gobert likes to trash talk too. So obviously, I think it works in Embiid's favor. He gets fired up.
He does. And Mitchell, I think the funny thing is, I think Simmons came out and said that the rookie race wasn't a fucking race last year because he got 93 of the 101 votes. First place votes.
Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
But he was clear by far. I mean, we're biased, but
we're biased.
He was by far like a phenomenal talent, a phenomenal season. It sucks for Mitchell.
13th pick, great season. You look at where he was and what he's got to, and the fact of the matter, he hasn't really improved his game this year at all.
Nah.
He's just kind of going to be one of those players. That's fine.
Yeah.
He's just going to be a 20-point night player, can score you some good threes, going to pull up a lot of shots, high volume, high reward. That's pretty much, he's going to chunk a couple of nights. That's your player. But for a 13th pick, the only problem is when you have to sign him to a max deal, what do you do?
Yeah, I think a franchise like the Jazz will probably do that.
Yeah.
But they've kind of got a bit of a jam of different guys. I think they kind of need to clean their roster now. Like where at the start of the season we were saying, this is just such, they've got all these options. Now as the league itself has kind of moved away from that, it's like, oh no, now all these options are kind of clogging up the way they play, and Korver's kind of giving them a little bit of a boost, but at the same time,
he's old.
It's just
old. $7 million a year. What can you do? Butler had 19 points. Look, they played well. Butler just adds that smooth veteran all-star into the lineup. I think a lineup with Embiid and Simmons would still win this game.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he just adds that swagger. Like it gives Philly an anchor for, their youthful exuberance is anchored by Butler's just swagger and smoothness, and his veteran ability. Like Redick's a leader of men, but he leads by example, whereas Jimmy Butler's a leader who like rolls everyone up and gets them all going, which I think it fits that team perfectly.
I think he's very happy to be out of the Timberwolves.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, that's a weird team.
Poor old Covington, but man, I still wish Covington was on that team.
I know, that'd be such beast. Essentially, the 3-point line would be guarded like no other team.
Be like the Sydney Kings, mate.
Indeed. Sydney. All right,
that's it. Yeah,
that's a wrap up. So what we got coming up? We got we're going to be doing team wrap ups, half season, talking about each team.
I think grading each player,
grading some players. We're going to be revisiting unders and overs.
Yeah,
giving you more and more games. We'll give you all the action as the games happen. Now that the new year is and the crazy family period's over, we've got a little bit more time to do this as well.
This week we'll work on all of that stuff this week, and we'll get that out there ASAP.
All right, guys. Thanks for hammering with us today. You can find all of our podcasts on YouTube, iTunes, Podcast Addict, and all your good podcast apps.
Yes, and on the King's Dime, we mentioned the Sydney Kings. They are in the NBL, top of the NBL for the end of the year. Halfway through their season on the King's Dime. Find us on Facebook and on YouTube if you follow the NBL and you're in Australia and you want to hear about the NBL.
Sydney Kings. And have a safe and happy new year, everyone.
Yes, and we'll see you in 2019. Another big year for us and the NBA, of course.
Indeed. Peace.
Peace.